What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes with odd, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm sharing 7 ways that you can avoid loneliness as a videographer.
You don't have to be lonely.
And if you just said, Ryan, I'm not lonely, I hear you, but you might actually be lonely, you just don't realize that you are. Trust me, this does wear on you over time, and that's why I wanted to try and address some of these issues in this video and give you some resources that you can use so you don't get lonely
At farmers only.
and you don't feel like you have to quit. The number one contributing factor to this is social media. It's everybody's highlight reel, and there's a great sense of FOMO, or fear of missing out, when everybody's scrolling through Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and all the other platforms. Now, this FOMO is compared to people's body image, their intelligence, their income level, and a bunch of other things, but it also does drip down to people's creativity and videographers just like you and I. So if you're experiencing any of these things yourself, make sure to leave me a comment down below, and we can try and find ways that we can fight this together. And if you have any other suggestions that I don't mention in this video, make sure to drop them down in the comment section below as well, because it's probably gonna help somebody else in a similar situation. So with that being said, here are my 7 ways to avoid loneliness as a videographer. Number 1 is to join supportive Facebook groups. Now notice I did say supportive Facebook groups, and I'm specifically calling out you industry veterans out there with 10, 15, 20 plus years experience that for some reason whenever somebody posts something that they've worked on that they're really proud of, people will just knock it down and say the lighting was wrong or you shot at the wrong frame rate, and they're not supportive or helpful. They just want to talk down to people to try and shoo them out of the industry so they don't have any more competition because they're grumpy and they are pissed that everybody's taking their work all the time. And I know that's not everybody, but for whatever reason, when I joined a bunch of Facebook groups a couple years ago, that was the overall resounding feeling that I got. I'm not good enough to be in this group. They're all better than me and I should just quit right now, which is really a terrible feeling to have when you're a beginner. Especially when there's so many new people coming in the industry. Really make sure that you're in a supportive Facebook group. And if you can't find any, I started one about 2 years ago called the Freelance Videographer Community. If you need somewhere supportive to share your work and become better, feel free to join my group. I personally screen every single person that comes through, and we don't allow any BS. So if you haven't found anybody yet, now you found somebody, make sure to go join it. I'll put a link down in the description box so you can find it. My second tip is to follow industry hashtags on Instagram. Now again, to preface, this tip is not to have FOMO and just look at everyone's stuff that is so much greater than yours and get upset, but it's more to connect with people on people's comments of their photos and videos, and really just to build an organic community. It's a really great way to connect with people. Like I said, we're the most connected that we've ever been. Leverage the free social media tools that we have to build more of a community so you don't feel like you're all by yourself. Another great way is using Instagram, so when you do share your work, tag some people that you know that will give constructive criticism, and just be open to that type of stuff, because the more constructive feedback that you get that's supportive, that makes people want to get better, the better you're gonna get at your skills and just understanding what people's eyes look for. One of these people's was Josh Langmaid from MediaCore when he first started his business last year, and now he's got a whole crew of like 3 to 4 people that are shooting stuff up in Rochester, Minnesota. So Josh, if you're watching, shout out to you. We need more people like that that are building communities on Instagram and using the platforms for good and trying to just connect with people and get plugged into the community that way. My third tip is to physically meet up in your area with other people that are practicing videographers. Now, in light of current events with the coronavirus going around worldwide, I'm sure this will slow down the next couple months, but in the short term, don't do this tip. But there are websites out there that you can find and kind of build meetups around videographers that are doing similar things. So there's a lot of ways that you can do this in practice. You can shoot or test a new camera that you have with a friend, if you have somebody that's also into videography or photography. The other thing is you could shoot a passion project, so something that you're not gonna get paid for, but that you really have a passion about. There's a lot of websites that organize these things like Eventbrite. You can just go to eventbrite.com and look for photo or video events in your area, and you'd be surprised that a lot of the medium to large cities actually have regular meetups where people will just get together for coffee. Here in Iowa, we have a group called Iowa Film, which is put on and supported by Produce Iowa, which is also a government-funded organization to try and get more people involved in film, which is really, really cool. And I know if Podunk, Iowa, here in the United States, has a program like that run by the government, I'm sure other states do as well. So another part of physically meeting people in your area is going to networking events. And again, in the short term, don't do this. Avoid large groups and socially distance yourself. You'd be amazed when you go to networking events who you can meet in the industry that can connect you with other people, that'll get you more clients, that'll connect you with a good audio guy or a great lighting guy, or somebody who's, you know, a CMO at a company that needs video shot on a regular basis. So definitely don't shortchange yourself. Go to those networking events and stand out that way. The fourth tip is to shadow more experienced videographers. This is a great way that you can learn how they've reached their level of success and how you can emulate it in your own business. So if you want to be a business videographer and there's somebody in town that you know, go shadow that person. Offer to second shoot, offer to be a production assistant, grip, gaffer, whatever they need, offer to help them for free, obviously. And again, with networking this way, you're building this camaraderie with other people that do this, and it's not just you anymore. You don't have to go out and find business and shoot it and edit it all by yourself. You're with other people, being a cog in the wheel, learning the industry, and you'd be surprised how much that can do for your loneliness. My fifth tip would be to hire out a crew when budget allows, so you can actually have people around you that work with you on a project. This does a couple things. One, it's great to work with other people because you can collaborate and learn from them. And two, it lessens the workload on you so you don't have to do everything. You can just focus on one thing and offload some of that workload to somebody else. My sixth tip is to include friends and family in the craft whenever possible. I know a lot of people hate missing out on family time, or if you have a spouse or kids, it's really hard to dedicate so much time to editing that you miss a lot of those moments. So whenever possible, get your kids, get your family, get your friends involved in your filmmaking process. So if you want to go out and test a new camera and it's not for a client and you're going to do it anyway, take a friend or a family member with you and do it. And my seventh tip is to reach out to me directly. I want to be a resource for you guys in fighting this pandemic of the loneliness that we have when we're shooting and editing and running our business completely by ourselves. It can get really lonely, and I know a lot of people that have actually quit or joined a corporate gig because they just got really tired of trying to fight this loneliness by themselves, and they need some camaraderie. Humans are very social creatures, so even if you're an introvert, people need to see other people and talk to other people throughout the day. So if you need help with that, like I said, drop a comment below, let me know. I'm happy to be a resource for you, or even just reach out to me directly if you don't feel comfortable commenting. So again, I just want to give as much value as I can with these videos, and I keep seeing this in the industry and no one's really talking about it. So I hope this video gave you some value in the sense of giving you some ideas on how to fight this loneliness epidemic that we have going on in the industry. So make sure to join the freelance videographer community. I'll put a link to it down in the description box. That's a great way to just join in, and trust me, I take care of it. If people are being terrible humans, they're out of the group and they don't come back. So make sure to join that. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Leave a comment below if you have any public questions or fears that you'd love to voice yourself. And that about does it from you guys. My name is Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes with odd, and we'll see you in next week's video. Peace.